This country's full. It's exploding. You can't get a doctor's appointment. You can't go to city hospital 6 and 7 hours if you want an A&E appointment.
So it's not the refugees. It's actually the lack of funding, the austerity implemented by the party that you voted for every single election, you old hag, you stupid fuck. Oh my God, max cap on voting, age cap on voting now. Holy shit. All right. So I covered the UK racist riots, the race riots that are happening in the UK briefly, or not even briefly. I covered it like last week. These psychopathic fascists had basically decided, like, you know, England is our land, lads, blah 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 blah, like all this shit. Okay. But they've gotten extra riled up. We're going to be talking about all this stuff. Counter protesters actually showed up in massive numbers, showing once again to the entire planet that, like, you only have your people. That's it. The only thing you have in the face of this kind of shit is solidarity. The only people you have looking out for you when the government is not, when the government is leaning into the right-wing sentiment, the only people you have that will support you, that will defend you, is other people from any kind of background, really. It doesn't have to just be like other Muslims or other migrants or anything like that. You can see like white boys over here with the Jeremy Corbyn shirt on. But, you know, you need other people to engage in community defense in times like this. And I'm really glad that they showed up in massive numbers, as counter protesters showed up in massive numbers, outweighing the psychopathic inbred fascists, sometimes 10 to 1, sometimes 100 to 1.
Newcastle United, black and white and brown.
We will not cower in the face of
real Geordies are not fascists.
racism, bigotry, violence, extremism, and hate.
That the message of hundreds of anti-racism protesters in the city centre this morning, a city which, notably, has escaped disorder thus far.
Obvious question, but why? What's brought you on the street?
For 5 reasons: diversity, inclusion, equality, freedom, justice for everybody.
I wanted to come here today with all these hundreds of people to make that clear that the Nazis and the right wing are welcome here in Newcastle.
Majority of my community are not here, and it's for one reason.
And local Imam Ali Assad said police advised his community to stay away to reduce tensions.
Yeah, dude. Hey, sorry. These people are trying to kill you. So it would be nice if you just like hid. And it's like, the fuck do you mean, bro? What do you mean? Like, no, your job in that situation is to, you know, get the guys who are saying we're gonna hunt Muslims down and arrest them. You know what I mean? You're supposed to fucking defend the people standing up to the racists. Yeah, Keir Starmer. Exactly. Who keeps us safe? We keep us safe. Absolutely.
The plan that we've worked with the local authorities is that our community members will be protecting all places of worship, like even the Hindu temple and the Gurdwaras as well. It's not just the mosque.
Police established a cordon separating the large crowd from this. A group of less than 50 gathered with Union and St George flags to protest, they said, against immigration.
They're leaving their women and children at home. If they were that frightened for their safety, they'd send their women and children and fight for their country back.
How do you know they're on?
Dude, also, it's like, bro, one of the best things to do in this circumstance is just to do Hogwatch and honestly let it rip. Some of the best content. I know that like things seem very dark, especially if you are a black or brown person living in the UK, if you're a Muslim person living in the UK, if you're Arab living in the UK, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, shit is out of control crazy. But I'm not gonna lie, dude. Watching British hogs just like not realize how fucking insane they sound has been incredible. You could just put a camera on them all day, every day and follow them around. I would watch that shit 24/7. I'm not kidding. Like, I thought our hogs are fun and entertaining and cool. Like, you got the fucking Heil Titler guys. You got the fucking Meal Team 6 guys, right? You have like different varieties of hogs in America. British hogs, I think, are of a very specific variety where they actually break the mold, even from like American cognition where we look at British people here in the United States of America and we think like, oh, they're intellectual. They have always been presented as like the nerdy people in movies and stuff. So like there is an air to like listening to the British accent. Like there's an air of like intellectualism that is associated here in America with the British accent. Not for these fucking hogs, bro. They are so stupid. Like stupid. Okay? They are so fucking dumb. They completely destroyed like years and years of American media showing British people as like smart intellectual nerds. They have done it. They have successfully destroyed it. Every time I see an EDL guy, I'm like, how can they be so fucking dumb? Some of my favorites have been the guy being like, they're taking our fucking jobs, lad. And then the woman will be like, well, have you tried to get a job? He's like, no, I haven't fucking tried to get a job. And then she'll be like, oh, what's the reason? He's like, it's because I just got out of prison. For burglary and assault, but they're taking off fucking jobs. It's like, bro, what are you saying? Fix your life, big dog. It's like, yeah, I did some time in a fucking bin for a murder, but honestly, they're taking off fucking jobs. I wouldn't have done the murder. That one guy was a pedophile. Yeah, it's like, it's crazy. It is crazy. Like, they are so oblivious. I don't know what they did that like led them to think that voluntarily revealing this information wouldn't make you look like a complete moron. But the lack of recognition, the lack of self-awareness is incredible. Okay? It is incredible. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. I think Margaret Thatcher should be unearthed from her grave for the unimaginable crimes that she has committed for England in general. Like, she is Ronald Reagan, but for England. And like what she did to the North, what she did to like labor strongholds, what she did to labor in your country, if you're British, like the consequences are so devastating. Because like all these people that I'm making fun of right now, they all were just like regular jobbers, okay? They were regular old fucking people. Their social safety nets crumbled. Their jobs went away. They got fucking destroyed. And they just sat there with so much anger and resentment. And then somebody came in and was like, yeah, it's actually black people. It's actually brown people. It's actually Muslims. It's actually Muslims. That's the reason why you don't have a job anymore. And it's like, dude, oh, here's the TikTok. You found it. It's like, it's
some foreigners that are coming over and taking our jobs.
This is not even the one I was talking about, but there are so many of these interviews, dude. There are so many of these interviews.
Yeah, and not even working. And they're working.
They take our jobs if they're not working.
Because they do it. They do it. Simple as that.
Yeah, simple as. They're taking our jobs and they're not even fucking working. As someone who lives in the North, these people are like dogs. They don't work and bitch and moan all day down. The local about immigrants, no GCSEs or qualifications is sad because the majority of them are caught in a cycle of poverty, but there are no mechanisms to pull out. Our schools are really underfunded, and so are social mobility support. Their hate is bred from a lack of exposure to other people. 100%. Bro, this is West Virginia. Like, this is Appalachia. Okay, they're not like a unique breed. Okay, this is just what happens when you run on like white supremacist fumes as a way to as a defense mechanism, as a way to like generate a sense of entitlement for yourself. When you have no other fucking outlet, when you have nothing, you've been given no fucking training programs, you've been given no options to like work. It's not like these people wouldn't work if they had the opportunity, but they've become like hateful little demons who are now just like unleashing on other people who are born out of the same fucking material conditions as they are. They just look different. Nobody is born racist, okay? Nobody. Remember that. It is all a byproduct of the material circumstances that you're subjected to, the material conditions that you're born into. The social conditioning is how you become racist. That's it. And these guys have nothing. And the only people that are reaching out to them and trying to help them use their anger and resentment and frustration. They capture their resentment and anger and frustration, and they fucking launch it upon people who are trying to make a living. He's from London, to be clear. No, I'm not just talking about him, but he is, just because he's from London, it doesn't fucking change his like circumstances. I'm shocked. I mean, I called that this was going to happen with the Keir Starmer election. But I'm shocked at how quickly they seized on this, and I'm kind of shocked that the EDL has this much play still. Like, I did not think that Tommy Robinson would make a comeback this hard, this fast.
Right, basically, they need to get them all off.
Okay, that's mad. Okay, so wait, off our streets?
Mad. Yeah.
So
they're our streets.
And they're taking our jobs?
Yeah, they're taking our houses, they're taking the lot.
And they took your teeth as well?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Nico Almalana, my goat, he's he's been on it. He's been doing Hogwatch directly for many, many years at this point.
So I come here to Barnsley, just a bit north of Sheffield and Rotherham, to find out what's going to happen today, because at noon, Stand Up to Racism have called another anti-racist demonstration here. I think, in a way, what we encountered last night was a sort of clash between, on the one hand, a far-right fantasy about how it is the organisation politically works. You just write a list of names, people will show up. That's not adequate, it turns out. And an intuitive community anti-fascist response that has been sort of moulded and grasped by groups like Stand Up to Racism, which seems intent on transforming that intuitive community anti-fascism into something that holds a particular kind of placard, that has a particular kind of voice. So we're going to go and talk to them about what their strategy is going forward.
Times are austerity, and there's a lot of poverty and people struggling and stuff like that. We live in a sort of blame culture, and people are looking for people to blame. So it's easy to make scapegoats of these sort of minority groups and stuff like that. And I'm afraid that's what's happening. And people aren't really looking at the big, the bigger issue is, what's, looking a little bit higher above and looking at the government and saying, what you're accountable for what's happening in this country. What are you doing to address this?
Why can't the butterfly? Why can't they stop in France? Why can't they stop in France? Britain. Why can't they stop in France? No, because all they come over here for is what? All they come over here for is for the benefits that they get.
Oh my goodness!
I don't think we're going to get anywhere. What is the dispute you were having with that woman just a moment ago?
We don't want. She wants refugees to come in. We don't. This country's full. It's exploding. You can't get a doctor's appointment. You can't go to city hospital 6 and 7 hours if you want an A&E appointment.
So it's not the refugees. It's actually the lack of funding, the austerity implemented by the party that you voted for every single election, you old hag, you stupid fuck. Oh my God, max cap on voting, age cap on voting now. Age cap on voting immediately, okay? Immediately, insta-lock. Holy shit. I fucking despise these pieces of shit, dude. They literally keep voting for Tory governments over and over and over again. Tory governments keep delivering austerity over and over and over again. And they're like, who might have done this? It's the migrants, yeah? It must be the fucking migrants, yeah? No, bitch, you did it. You voted for it over and over again. Fuck you mean the migrants? The migrants are working at the NHS, dumbass.
Why have I got... My son, he got shot at army. He was in Joker Wellington Regiment and he was in Kosovo and he got shot, yeah? A lot of his friends have had to put up and rehouse because they can't get housing. They're living on streets. They don't get put up in 5-star hotels. Perhaps it's not refugees that we should be protesting against. It's the way they're looked after.
Yeah, dude, they're living mint, dude. Notice how the rhetoric is identical in America? Oh, we got the fucking homeless people here. Why don't we look after them? We put the migrants in 5-star hotels.
We're not racist. Look in Barnsley. There's black and brown people here. You know what I mean? We're not racist. They're talking absolute crap.
What have you come to do here today? What's the idea of being here?
To get my megaphone, to give my opinion. My opinion, mate. I'm just a normal guy, you know what I mean? I've had open heart surgery, I can't work no more. But I've worked all my life. But I'm not having these lot coming here saying that this, that and other. It's a load of rubbish. The lefties, and this is what the problem is with this country, lefties. They've caused this problem. They've let them in, yeah? That's what the problem is, lefties. I hate lefties. I've never been to politics up to 2 years ago, yeah? I've never voted in my life up till this year, yeah? My first vote this year, I voted for reform. It was YouTube that brought me to the attention of what was going on in this country and the boats. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known.
We're on YouTube as well. What kind of things were you watching? Do you know the names of the channels?
Just your normal everyday bloggers, you know what I mean? That's all it was. And the mainstream media are just liars.
I love that he's just like pointing to the steps of his radicalization. Identical to America, by the way, because hogs are universal. There's a beautiful universality to the song and dance that hogs play. The squeals that you hear from these fucking piglets, okay? It's always the same shit.
They've sold us out. And these lot have sold us out as well. Targeting us as right-wing. We're not right-wing. You know what I mean?
Bro, you voted for reform. What do you mean you're not right-wing, bro? You are here to do an anti-immigrant protest. Like, the cognitive dissonance here is out of control.
I mean, look at London. You can't go in. I've been to London once in my life because it's absolutely a terrible place. You know what I mean? And you go to London now, and if you're of white descent, you get stabbed. If you're of black descent, you get stabbed. I mean, most of them are blacks that stabbing each other through drugs. You know what I mean? And Sadiq Khan doesn't know what to lie to everybody.
Bro, it's literally exactly the same. Never been to California. Thinks that, like, you will get stabbed instantly. I went to California one time, bro. I went to Los Angeles one time. Couldn't even park my F-150 pickup truck in any of the goddamn parking spaces. Them Latinos are stabbing each other left and right. They're shooting everything. The entire stores are burned to the goddamn ground, brother.